So now we find out that Benjamin Netanyahu had a call with Donald Trump right before we started this war in Iran. And it turns out Netanyahu convinced him to go into this war. Now I'm gonna show you the different strategies he had, the different mind tricks he played on Trump and which one worked. But there's also something you gotta keep in mind in this story, which is that a lot of people think, hey, Israel controls our politicians because they give so much money through the Israeli lobby. And that is definitely true. There's no question about it. That is an empirical fact. Anyone who tells you that that's not true is actively lying to you, okay? Which is almost all of mainstream media. Okay, so now on the other hand, a lot of people have the theory that Israel might also be blackmailing Donald Trump. Again, if mainstream media is like, how dare you? Well, you can't say that about our beloved Israel. Okay, Mr. Objective, we can say whatever we like, and the guy is acting super weird. This story, though, could show you that maybe it isn't blackmail. Maybe that Donald Trump is so mentally weak, they were easily able to trick him into the war. So let's find out together. So this is from Reuters. They explained that this call mounted to the Israeli leader's closing argument to his U.S. counterpart, Trump. So what did they go with? They say, there might never have been a better chance to kill Khamenei and to avenge previous Iranian efforts to assassinate Trump, anonymous sources said. Those included a murder for hire plot allegedly orchestrated by Iran in 2024 when Trump was a candidate. Now, wait, what? So the Israelis told Trump, oh, remember how the Iranians were trying to kill you? You should kill them first. Now that's preposterously dumb for reasons I'm about to explain to you, but that's not gonna work, is it? Well, we're gonna find out at the end which of these arguments work. Why did I say that's preposterous? Well, I looked into it because every once in a while you hear Mark Levin or some other Israeli first guy, the Iranians are trying to murder Trump, and they never present any proof or anything. So I was like, okay, let's find out what this nonsense is. So they have accused two different guys. One's an Afghan, the other one's a Pakistani guy, of trying to organize a hit on Donald Trump. So let's find out if that's true. The Justice Department has accused a Pakistani man of trying to recruit people in the United States in the plan meant as retaliation for Washington's killing of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps top commander Qasem Soleimani. We're still on that? But we killed Ayatollah since then. But anyway, maybe they claim slightly older plot, okay. Potential targets of the 2024 scheme included now President Donald Trump, then President Joe Biden, and former presidential candidate and ex-US UN ambassador Nikki Haley. Wait, what? I thought this was like the Iranians are out to get Donald Trump. And then you look into it and it's some bozo rando who's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill Trump. Yeah, that's it. And then I'm gonna kill Nikki Haley. Yeah, and then Biden. And then maybe Dukakis. So it was not a plot against Trump. It was a plot, a non-plot. By the way, the only people that the Pakistani guy talked to was FBI agents. Okay, they're like, oh, you want to kill more Americans? Tell us more, tell us more. And the guy's like, then I like to kill Bugs Bunny. They're like, we got him, right? So then in August, how about let's stick with the Pakistani guy. In August, Brooklyn federal prosecutors charged the Pakistani man suspected of plotting on behalf of Iran to kill high-ranking US politicians or officials, including perhaps Trump. Wait, now we're at perhaps Trump. Definitely Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, but perhaps Trump. This is the dastardly plan of the Iranians. This is total horse crap, okay? But wait, we're not done. How about the Afghan guy? In September and October of this year, according to prosecutors, Shakari, while located in Tehran, he's Afghan but went back to Tehran apparently, participated in a voluntary phone interviews with the FBI. Wait, what? So some guy says he's calling from Iran and saying, well, I was gonna kill Trump, but now I'm in Iran. And I decided to call the FBI anyway. Oh, the number says Tel Aviv? Okay, I'm kidding about that one. But really, a guy who escaped to Iran, called later and said, oh, by the way, FBI, I'd like to fill you in on my plans. Okay, you'd have to be a mainstream media reporter to believe that. But to be fair, no, seriously, most of them don't believe it. That's why you almost never hear about this story, because everybody knows it's total garbage, right? But apparently the one guy who didn't know that was Donald Trump, because Netanyahu was like, they were gonna kill you. Are you gonna let them get away with it? Did you hear about the Pakistani in Malaysia? who made a call to the CIA? All right, whatever. Okay, so we'll see in a second if that worked. So now they went on to make other cases. Trump could make history, they said, by helping eliminate an Iranian leadership long reviled by the West and by many Iranians. Netanyahu argued Iranians might even take to the streets, he said, overthrowing a theocratic system that had governed the country since 1979 and been a leading source of global terrorism and instability ever since. So this is his argument for, look, you've always wanted to get rid of Iran, did you? I think you always wanted to get rid of Iran. That's been Netanyahu's goal all along. And he says, but don't worry, people are gonna take to the streets. Well, they did take to the streets. We showed you videos of that earlier. They all rallied around the flag. Again, just like Joe Kent said that they would back when he was in the government. He's talking about it now. He'll be on the show Thursday at 7 o'clock. You know, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Young Turks right here, YouTube and wherever else you watch. So, our intelligence was like, they're not gonna take to the streets unless it's in opposition to Israel and America. They're not gonna take to the streets after we bomb their children and say, yay, Israel, right? But again, Netanyahu knows who his target is. Donald Trump's IQ's in the single digits. So he's like, oh, they're gonna like Donald Trump? The Iranians are gonna like Donald Trump? They're gonna be in the, I wonder if he told him, they're gonna chant Trump, Trump, Trump. Trump probably would have believed it. Anyways, as you see now, not exactly how it unfolded. And now, as I reported in the last story, the Israelis are saying, actually, we kind of prefer civil war in Iran where they all kill each other. From the guys who told you, we're doing this for the Iranian protesters. Okay, we on the other hand try to help you guys. So if you're starting your own business, at some point you're gonna need a shop. We have shoptyt.com. Yeah, but really, who do we use? Who do we trust? Well, that's Shopify. Shopify makes everything simpler. It makes checkout way simpler with the big purple button that they have. That really has helped us a lot. And overall, they've been wonderfully responsive to us. We wouldn't do it with anybody else. So if you're gonna set up a shop for anything that you're doing online, make sure you're using Shopify. And right now, if you sign up, you only get $1 per month trial. $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/TYT. That's shopify.com/TYT. But every mainstream media reporter is like, oh, Israel, beloved Israel. Yes, they're doing for the Iranians, 30,000 dead. Israel cares so much about Muslim people. Okay, anyways, so next argument. Not long after, during a February visit by Netanyahu to Washington, the Israeli leader briefed Trump on Iran's growing ballistic missile program, pointing out specific sites of concern. He also laid out the dangers of the ballistic missile program, including the risk that Iran might eventually gain the ability to strike the American homeland, said 3 people familiar with the private conversations. So if I'm the president, I go, really? Iran has a ballistic missile that's gonna reach America? Show me. How in the world is it gonna reach America? But Trump doesn't know anything, has never done any homework, has never listened to his presidential daily briefings. Remember those stories from his first term where they had to draw on pictures and say Trump, Trump, Trump to get him to read one page. So he doesn't know that Iran's ballistic missiles can't possibly reach the United States. So Netanyahu takes that as an opportunity. Oh yeah, they could hit Albuquerque, Donald. Oh my God, what if they hit Mar-a-Lago? Oh, okay, I'll go to war for you, Israel. Okay, that's who they're working with. So here's another one. The possibility of regime change, they said, was one of Netanyahu's arguments in the call shortly before Trump gave the final orders to attack Iran, so the people briefed on it. That view was not held by the Central Intelligence Agency, which had assessed in the weeks prior to that Khamenei would likely be replaced by an internal hardliner if he was killed, as Reuters previously reported. Trump repeatedly called for an uprising after Khamenei was killed. So he believed the Israelis over our own CIA, and that was shocking that our CIA is independent enough to give him that intelligence, but they did in this one case. And so, but since he believed the Israelis after the war started, that's why you see Trump constantly going out there and going, who's gonna be the next leader? Who's gonna replace Khamenei and work with me and let me run the Strait of Hormuz? Who is it? Because he really thinks that's gonna happen because the Israelis told him. Oh God, so which of these worked the best though? We're getting to that in a second. Trump has also been briefed. There's a lot of arguments they threw at Trump to get him to attack. Trump has also been briefed that there was a chance, even if small, that the killing of Iran's top leaders could usher in a new government in Tehran that was more willing to negotiate with Washington, said 2 other people familiar with Rubio's briefing. So they're telling him, oh, they're gonna work with you. The minute you attack them, they're gonna immediately surrender and say, what can we do for you, like they did in Venezuela. That was very persuasive to him. Now, Israel says, oh, all of this is hogwash. Yeah, we made all those arguments, but Donald Trump, he's a mental genius, a very stable genius. So we couldn't possibly influence him anyway. In fact, Netanyahu just said the other day in a news conference on Thursday, dismissed as, quote, fake news, claims that Israel somehow dragged the US into a conflict with Iran. Does anyone really think that someone can tell President Trump what to do? Come on. And this is an argument you see Israel First making here in America all the time. Can I see someone telling Donald Trump what to do? Yeah, easily. Like when Qatar gives him a $400 million plane, all of a sudden he's a lot friendlier to Qatar. When Ayatollah gave him $337 million for his 3 campaigns, he literally said on the air, well, Sheldon gave me a lot of money and he wanted Israel to take Golan Heights and move the embassy. So I did it, I gave him Golan Heights and I moved their embassy for Sheldon. Can someone get Donald Trump to do something by offering him money or persuade him in some other way? Of course they can. It's the easiest thing in the world. So, okay. Now we get to, but what was decisive? The reporting shows that the Israeli leader was an effective advocate, and his framing of the decision, including the opportunity to kill an Iranian leader who allegedly had overseen efforts to kill Trump, was persuasive to the president. So he believed that nonsense story about, oh yeah, there's a dude somewhere in the world calling and pretending he was gonna kill you. And he's like, oh my God, are they gonna kill me? Are they gonna kill me? Oh, I'm gonna get them first. Wait, you think I'm exaggerating? Hold on, I got quotes for you. So is it true? Well, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth in early March suggested that revenge was at least one motive for the operation, telling reporters, quote, Iran tried to kill President Trump and President Trump got the last laugh. Did he? Because I feel like Netanyahu got the last laugh. We can miss the schmuck that the Iranians are out to get you. Now, well, okay, you're gonna say, well, that's Hegseth. That's Hegseth. I mean, do you have it from the horse's mouth? Did Trump say it? Last quote for you from Donald J. Trump, US president, about the Ayatollah. I got him before he got me. He is that stupid. So the Israelis just played him like a fiddle and for a fool. And they're like, oh yeah, Donald, you're gonna be greeted as a liberator. The Iranian people are gonna be out in the streets chanting your name. It's gonna be easy. And they're gonna have somebody come up and go, Donald, please run our country. And you're gonna be considered a hero. And we covered this in a previous story. And if you don't participate in the war, you're gonna be, quote, a spectator to history. You're gonna be a loser weakling looking on while we in Israel get all the glory. Oh, you're gonna get all the glory by doing all the fighting for us? Oh, golly gee, Donald, you did it again. And you're gonna strike back against the Ayatollah before he gets you? Oh, Donald, you're so smart and brave. That's our leader, a total sucker for falling for nonsense arguments like that. And now American guys are dying, 13 dead already, 5 planes shot down, endless damage, the price of oil sky high. And now Israel's saying, yeah, so what? Maybe chaos in Iran works better for Israel. Oh, it didn't work well for you guys? You're all paying higher gas prices in America and the rest of the world? Well, too late. Now you're stuck in a quagmire. There's nothing you can do about it. And by the way, Netanyahu is ordering in American ground troops. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.